What is up, everybody? My name is Mike. This is the MDH Automotive channel, and I thank you guys for being here. Today we're on the road, and I'm with my lovely wife, Kristen, and my stepdaughter, Caitlin. She's really excited about it. And you guys can kind of see him in the mirror back there. There's Bryson, finally making his debut. He was fussy, but now that we're moving, he's happy. So anyway, we're heading to Salida right now, and we're going to go pick up another vehicle. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would know what the vehicle is. I've been talking about it. I've talked about it in the last video. So if you don't know what it is, just wait. We'll be right there. So we are here, and that's Jesse right there.
How you doing?
And that's the vehicle. If you guys will remember, I did post a picture of this on my Instagram, but 1992 GMC Typhoon. Definitely a bucket list car for me. So we're going to do all the paperwork. I'm going to get on the road and go meet the family for lunch, and then we'll do a little review video of it and wrap this up. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay, so driving home in the Typhoon, and I've only driven it like a couple miles, so stopped and had lunch with my wife, my stepdaughter, and Bryson, and I'm going to try to hold the camera up here so that the air conditioning doesn't screw with the sound, so I apologize for that. Anyway, for you guys that don't know what the Typhoon is, let me just tell you. I think in 91, 92, something like that, they came out with the GMC Cyclone, which was a GMC S15. I'll get it right here soon. An S15 pickup. They had the 4.3 liter V6, and it was turbocharged, and it was very fast. At the time, it was blowing away Corvettes, Ferraris, everything. It was very, very quick. And you know, it developed like 260 horsepower and like 330, 350 pound-feet of torque. So it did a really nice job. But the good thing about it is it was all-wheel drive, and that made it hook up really well. No wheel spin, it just went. So this is a 92. The Typhoon ran from 92 to 93. They didn't make a lot of them, and they did not make very many in this color. Only 135 in this mint green color. But like I said, all-wheel drive. And it sent like 35% of the power to the front wheel, 65 to the back wheel, so it hooked up very, very well. And that was a cool thing about these. I remember back in 92 when they first came out, I actually bought a 92 Pontiac Grand Prix, and they have one of these on a lot, and I said, well, if I'm going to buy the Grand Prix, I want to drive a Typhoon. And I just got to take it down McHenry, which is a very busy street, a lot of traffic, so it really wasn't, I didn't have the opportunity to really get into it. I didn't have the opportunity to really see what it would do. But you know, at the time, I mean, this thing was like 0 to 60 in 5 seconds. That was incredible back in the 90s. That was smoking. Like I said, it was faster than a Vet at the time, and just amazing vehicle. So I always said I wanted one. And I've looked throughout the years. I've had the ability to buy one, but this one just super clean, close by. I feel kind of bad for the previous owner because he did have to do a lot to get it to smog. He ended up doing a full tune-up on the vehicle. He ended up doing, there were some vacuum leaks he had to fix, and he put a new catalytic converter on, which is great for me. I shouldn't have any issues with the vehicle, and you know, I can kind of show you the inside of the vehicle, but I'll do a good walk around and do the inside of the vehicle once we get back home. But basically, let's just enjoy the ride home right now, and yeah, have a good time. mean, it isn't bad. It's not great. It's not like new air conditioning. It's going to run you out of here, but it's comfortable and it's fairly hot out today, so that's good. The cruise control works, power windows work, and I mean, all the stuff's pretty basic. Stereo works, and it's really pretty clean. Like I said, I'll show you guys a walk around under the hood, inside when we get to the house. This seat does bother my back a little bit. I notice it's not the most comfortable, but that's not the seat's fault. It's my back, and my back just does not tolerate too many vehicles that well. You know, I stepped on it a couple times, and once the turbo builds, it's definitely got a lot of turbo lag, but once it does build boost, it moves out very respectfully. Now, it's nothing compared to some of the newer vehicles we have nowadays. I mean, there's probably half a dozen vehicles I have in my shop that will blow it out of the water. But still, for what it is, and when you consider this a 26-year-old vehicle, it's exceptionally clean and it performs very, very well. I like it. I'm glad I bought it. I've got to thank Jesse. He was very cool about the whole thing, negotiated with me, and like I said, stepped up and fixed the things that needed to be fixed and got it to where it was past smog, and I'm happy. There's not a lot of these vehicles out there. If you look, you're not going to find a lot of vehicles, a lot of Typhoons, and especially Cyclones for sale out there. Like I said, they were a 2-year thing, so they're rare. They are very rare. So I'm very happy with it. But I've heard to really get the full experience of these things in the all-wheel drive, you need to foot brake it up to about 2,500, 3,000 RPM and let off the brake, peg the throttle, and you can really feel the way it launches. So I think we should try that right now. What do you think? Ha! You thought you were going to see the launch, didn't you? But no, you're going to have to wait to the end of this video for that. I want to do the walk around, talk a little bit more about it, just real quick, and then I promise we'll get right to it. So first of all, let's start under the hood and show you what this thing looks like. There it is, in all its splendor and glory. The 4.3 liter, you see it says Cyclone on it. Originally, like I said, they start out as a Cyclone. The truck's a little lighter, so it was obviously much faster. So, but you can see it's really very clean. That was what impressed me about this vehicle. It's very clean, very well kept. So, I don't know really how much more I can say about it, but there it is. It has had one repaint. Apparently the owner before went on ahead and repainted it in the original color. You can see as we walk down. Tires are in really good shape, and they are 245/50/16 front and rear. Go around to the back here. Like I said, it's just very, very clean. It's very clean inside, it's very clean outside. It was actually, I mean, it looked really good in the pictures on Craigslist, but when I got to it and saw it, I was impressed with it. And I drove it. I didn't really get into it because I just feel funny about doing that with other people's vehicles, even though Jesse was very cool. And it's like, man, you didn't even really get into it. But, you know, I got the basic impression. Like I said, this obviously isn't going to be as fast as, like, you know, the newer vehicles, the Vet, the Scat Pack, the GT500, or even the Camaro. Probably hold its own off the line against actually any of them, because this thing does launch very, very good, which I'm going to show you in a second. But yeah, take a look inside. It's kind of dark, I apologize, but the interior is really clean. The dash has got a couple very minor cracks on it. See the back, I mean the back seat doesn't even hardly look set in. Headliner's in really good shape. Driver's seat, passenger seat, door panels. It's really in good shape. And I just figured since I was picking up the vehicle, I'd go ahead and do the video on it right now. But you know, most people who don't know what it is are just going to think, oh, it's just another one of those little tiny Blazers from back in the 90s. And then when it blows by them, actually I have a story about that. You know, back in probably, I'd say it's probably like 93, 94, I had a 72 Chevy pickup long bed. It had a 400 big block in it, and it was okay. I mean, for the time I thought it was pretty fast. Nowadays I probably wouldn't, but for the time I thought it was a pretty fast vehicle. And I remember I was in a hurry and I pulled up to a light and I wasn't paying attention to the vehicle that was next to me. I remember taking off from the light and I kind of stepped on it, and this vehicle was sticking right with me. So, you know, I step into it a little bit more and the vehicle's still sticking with me. So I just put it to the floor. And suddenly this vehicle just shoots right away from me. And it was one of these Typhoons. just only solidified it more that I wanted one. I wanted to own one. And it's kind of cool because if you look at the color of it and then you look over at the color of the Impala, I mean, you got the same basic color combinations, the gray and the green. I don't know what green they called that, but I'm going to call it a mint green. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the launches. I did 2 launches. The first one wasn't as great. Well, go ahead and check it out now. That launch I was just experimenting with. I didn't really quite build it up to 3 grand. What I didn't do is build the boost. I wasn't paying attention to the boost gauge, and I didn't build very much boost. So I was actually kind of disappointed with that launch and thinking, okay, this thing isn't as impressive as I thought it was. So then I went down, I got on my street, and I decided to try it again. And this time I got up to 3 grand. I built a lot more boost, and yeah, well, you can see this launch is definitely much better. So as you can see, and I won't know until I edit this, hopefully my camera's pretty steady, but it launched really hard the second time. First time not so bad, but the second time it really launched hard. I swear to you, it felt like the front tires came off the ground. It really did. I know they didn't, but it felt like it did. And it actually made me a little nauseous, which I think is really cool, you know. But yeah, I could feel it in my stomach. I was like, oh, wow, that was a little sudden. And that's happened to me 2 other times in vehicles. One time in my Z06 when I launched it pretty good, I felt a little nauseous, and then another time when I was in a Lamborghini riding shotgun and the guy was getting into it and in and out of it and everything like that, and that made me feel a little nauseous. So you know what, hats off to this little thing. It actually made my stomach turn. Woohoo! So anyway, with that, I'm going to end the video. I thank you so much for watching. Thank everybody for subscribing. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to this channel. It's a great time. I mean, there's just tons of automotive stuff happening, and I'm having a great time. I hope you guys are too. Like the video, share it with other people who are obviously automotive enthusiasts and would enjoy this type of stuff. And comments are always welcome. As always, I'm going to leave my P.O. box and my Instagram in the description below. And with that, guys, God bless, take care, have an absolutely amazing day.